Have you ever felt like the harder you try to get what you want, the farther away it gets? To find happiness, the more you try, the tired and empty you feel. In these days, people teach us to be faster, better. The key to success lies in speed and success, but this constant rush makes we think that non-stop activity is the key to you can be successful. But it's not about being faster than everyone else. It's about being in charge of yourself when you act, instead of thinking when your mind is jumbled. When your heart is calm, the Stoics thought that being calm wasn't a sign of weakness or complacency. Being strong is what helps you make smart choices in tough times. Stay true to your values no matter what. To deal with stress and get far without being taken away by life. So before we start today's video, please leave this phrase in the comments. Calm is the foundation. Using this as your guide for the next few steps, let's go. Don't fight it. Just go with the flow of life. Don't fight it. Just let life happen to you. Though we make plans, life doesn't always go as planned. There are days when everything goes wrong, ruined by things we can't control. At those times, the normal thing to do is many people find it hard to not get angry or to demand that everything, to get things back to how they were, but Stoicism teaches us something else. Don't fight it. Let life move. Trying to make things go the way we want them to isn't helpful. When we hold on too tightly to things that don't matter, we cause a lot of stress. Every little change from what we expect feels like a disaster, and the more we fight it, the worse it gets. Our minds get tired and jumbled, and we lose the focus we need to find answers. Calmness, on the other hand, makes our minds stable so we can see. Because things aren't just the way we want them to be. Picture a student getting ready. He studies day and night, making a plan for every hour, for a big test minute, but just before the test, the power goes out. His computer does not work. You can't get to your study materials at that time because your panicking or getting mad doesn't help. It makes things worse. But if the kid stops, taking a deep breath and realizing that he can't change this, he can begin. Look into other choices. Borrow printed materials from friends, taking notes by hand or just going over what he already knows. By letting go of, when he faces opposition, he easily finds a new way to move forward. Are in charge of your thoughts, not outside events. Understand this, and you will. That quote isn't just a reminder, it's what calms you down. There is more strength in being able to control ourselves than in being able to control the outside world. How we think and stay calm in the face of chaos. And it's only when we stop refusing to make real room for success because it doesn't come to us from making everything go our way. It comes from changing based on our abilities to deal with change by going with the flow. It's the smart thing to do. Save your energy for things you can change. Life is a river. Swim against it, and you'll get tired. But if you look at the current, when you stay stable and go your own way, that's when you go. The being calm isn't a sign of weakness. It's a quiet power that helps us succeed. We change the way we live and grow through every twist and turn. Turn 2. Clear your mind before you move. Before you do anything, calm down. Sometimes in life it seems like everything moves too quickly. One complaint makes you mad. An unplanned event causes stress. A task comes your way, and you deal with it. Stoicism, on the other hand, says that what matters is not what events, but how you react to them. And the right reaction only comes when once the mind is calm, emotions take over and become the enemy of reason. When we're mad, scared, or angry, our minds get cloudy like water that has been stirred up. Can't see what's beneath is when we make snap choices the most. We say or do things we wish we could take back that we regret. Calmness doesn't mean apathy. It means giving yourself enough space inside to see things clearly. Marcus Aurelius was one of the best emperors and a very stoic person. A sage once said, "If you are upset about something outside the pain, isn't because of the thing itself, but because of how you think it is, and you have the right to take it back at any time." This isn't just theory. It's a wake-up call. It's not always the event itself that sets us off. Sometimes it's how uneasy our thoughts. When you're calm, you get back control of how you see things. Pick a clear, logical way to look at things instead of letting them take over your mind. Picture yourself standing in front of someone you deeply care about. Care about a close friend or family member and say something during a fight that really hurts you. At that point, you can either get angry and fire back, or you can calm down and you could hurt the relationship, or you could stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself saying, "What's really going on here?" For a short time could save years of relationship. Power of composure. Being able to pick how to react instead of letting reaction. Stoicism doesn't teach you how to automatically hold back your feelings, teaching you to spot them, let them go, and then act a simple. When you feel like snapping, take 3 slow breaths and count to 10, from 1 to 10 in your head. That quiet time gives your wisdom a chance to. Finally, keep in mind that no one can fully control what happens in the outside world. Can learn to control how they react, and that's more important than ability, or what determines long-term success is the ability to stay steady in when there are storms. Once you know how to stay cool before you act, learning to accept the way things are in life is part of the Stoic road. It's simple, but it holds a deep freedom that few people ever really understand. Look into that next 3. Allow the natural flow of allow life to go as it will. Life is like waves on the ocean. It's always changing, sometimes calm, sometimes angry. We can't hold on to it. We want things to stay the same, but the waves keep coming over us. Nature shows us that everything works in a perfect way, so we can't. The trouble is that our attachments and personal views make it so we don't always see it that way. Hazy, like looking through a dirty window. I think that in general we worry too much about yesterday and tomorrow. They spend a lot of time on TVs, computers, and other media that keep us. Most of the time, people are pulled away from the current moment, which is where real life is happening. We are only interested in pleasing our eyes and finding happiness in other places. We seem to have forgotten what peace, satisfaction, and real happiness mean and where they come from. In fact, we already have everything we need for that. All we need is having the guts to start looking and listening to yourself, and if we're still enough to really listen, the first thing we'll hear is a quiet, remember to go with the flow of life. That may sound easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do. One of the hardest things about being human is that things don't always go as planned. Changes in people and places happen every day, but we still hold on to how. What should have been, life goes in a different way. The more we fight it, Stoicism doesn't teach us to give up and let things happen as they may, teaching us to deeply understand how life works. Everything changes, and this is something we can't always change, as Marcus Aurelius writing, "Accept whatever comes your way because it is part of your plan." Could better meet your needs. What could possibly be better for you? Isn't just a soothing phrase, it's a strong warning that sometimes the things that go wrong that we wish never did teach us the lessons we need to grow. Don't be afraid of change. Instead, welcome it with, be interested in everything. See every mistake as a chance to start over. Imagine a business that is about to release a new product. Everything is ready. A delay is caused by a last-minute technology problem. The normal response might be panic, but what if the leaders choose to stay calm? What if they're honest? Talk to customers and use the wait time to make the offering better. Better outcome, but trust gets stronger. Acceptance doesn't give up. It's when we choose to let go of things we can't change so we can concentrate on things we can. Life doesn't owe us anything for how we react, how we accept, or how we move forward. Perfect script. But if we can stay cool and walk with it instead of fighting it or running away, we might learn from this that this unexpected flow is the best teacher of all, and it may be taking us right where we need to go. Go. 4. Lower your hopes to raise them. lower your goals to get more done. I think it's a bad idea to expect more from other people than from ourselves. Still, a lot of people live this way. I think this is a recipe for sadness and disappointment. In real life, people often hold higher. When people have very high standards for others, it shows in what they expect from themselves. Someone criticizes others for actions they take themselves. We expect others to be perfect, but we find reasons to be lazy, putting things off or not doing them right. This doesn't just hurt relationships. It is what keeps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction in Stoic thought. Instead of exaggerating a simple but powerful idea, the sages don't worry about what other people or yourself expect of you. Instead, focus on what needs to be done. If you don't want something to happen, then just accept it as it is. Like praise that gets results quickly, or recognition that you're putting your happiness in the things you can't change, and it's easy to give up when things don't go your way. You can't be down, angry, or ready to give up calm in a mind that is, don't lower your hopes to live a dull life. Instead, do it to live more, carefully and peacefully. When you stop worrying about what will happen, you can put all of your energy into taking action. And when you're focused on taking action, naturally do better when they have more depth and purpose. This is James Clear's story. The author of Atomic Habits is a good example of this. Before her big break-in the world of self-improvement, he was a baseball player who hurt his head badly. He didn't set high goals, like becoming a famous author or getting better completely at all costs. Instead, he went after on small things they do every day, like reading books, writing down their thoughts, and making blogs posts, even if they were only a few hundred words, without trying to be a huge star. Built value slowly over time, and the results came later as a natural prize for the process. Being calm doesn't mean being in charge of everything, being able to accept that you can't. When your hopes are lowered, you can see more clearly what you can do right now, and going after things is the only thing that will really lead you to an important kind of success. What do you think about this? Has expectation ever let you down? Tell me about it in the comments. I'd really like to hear from you. 5. The power of the strength of being quiet. It's clear that silence has power. Like all kinds of strength, it can be used to hurt or heal, which may be why people have such different reactions to it. Some see it as an unbearable blank, while others see it as a holy place to heal and think. Silence isn't just the space between words in Stoic thought. It's a way of self-mastery to listen better, understand more, and react with wisdom. We often feel the need to talk, react, or answer right away. A wise person doesn't give in to that urge. Silence is a sign of mental peace. Strength. It gives us time to watch and fully understand what's going on. Being quiet doesn't mean doing what other people can't in a hurry. It just means taking a step back for a moment so we can move on to be more clear and calm. When you don't speak right away, you're giving yourself a chance to handle your feelings. That's when you change from reacting to answering, from gut to intellect. We make the most mistakes when we're mad, scared, or angry. But if you can keep quiet at that time, you'll win against Stoicism. Says that beating yourself is the most important win of all. Imagine that you are a customer service rep who has just finished a long, stressed shift. A clearly angry customer calls in to complain about the service, but use rude and personal language. Your first reaction might be to push back to defend yourself, or even just hang up to keep your honor. But if you decide to be quiet for a moment, holding back your first response, as you take a deep breath and let the person speak, don't snap back. You agree with what they said, but you know that acting on impulse will only make things worse. When their voice finally softens, you answer not out of feeling but because professionalism and care that focus on fixing the issue. The end result you don't want. You just ease the stress by making that person feel valued and heard, which is a lot of the time what they need more than a fight is quiet. Strength. Someone who knows a lot is stronger than someone who talks a lot, knows when to talk and when to be quiet. The calm person knows that not every fight needs to be fought with words. Sometimes keeping the Stoicism says to hold on to your peace and keep your mind on what really counts. Doesn't tell you to get cold. It teaches you to stop and think about what you're saying, are needed, and when it's better to be quiet. Every time you pick silence over and you're working on self-control, which is one of the most important qualities, that really work. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. You're halfway done, and the fact that you're still here means you're really interested. You really want to become a better person, so let's move on to the next part, where we're going to learn how to deal with bad feelings and grow from them. To remember yourself, don't forget to leave a comment that says, "I will live a better life." You're willing to help build a strong, positive, and inspiring Stoic society together. 6. Deal with pain and learn. Deal with your pain and learn from it. We often want safety and ease from it, but on the path to growth and real success is through the hard, painful parts. It's when we're willing to be uncomfortable that we learn the most about ourselves. Getting over it is a strong lesson from Stoicism. It doesn't encourage blind endurance, but it also tells us to meet problems with calmness, openness, and Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action is the will to learn. What gets in the way of action becomes the way." He wasn't talking about how to avoid trouble. He was showing us how to use problems as opportunities to grow. When we're in trouble, our minds tend to pull back to feel safe. But if we can stop, take a deep breath, and try to understand our feelings and the situation at hand, in the midst of trouble, we may find a new way to move forward. Picture a player who just lost a big game. Match. The loss makes them feel bad about themselves and makes them question themselves. If they rush to avoid being let down, they'll probably make the same mistakes again. But if they are brave enough to face their sadness and accept that they are flawed is a normal part of the journey, they'll start to see what needs to be fixed. Technique is shaky, what plan didn't work, how their mind worked when they were under pressure. They learn what easy wins could never teach them by letting go of that uncomfortable feeling. Stoicism teaches us that resilience builds a strong base for future success. To be calm, you need to be able to recognize your feelings without getting upset about them, being swept away by them. When problems come up and we look at our inner world, being clear and asking the right questions. What can I learn from this? I have the power to turn pain into information loss into drive. It's not easy. You won't be successful if you walk on smooth roads, but it's worth it. Being able to keep going through the tough times. Staying calm helps us avoid being overwhelmed by bad feelings, and it's when we accept pain that we grow. Stoicism doesn't waste time or energy on things that don't matter. We can use pain to learn more about ourselves and get better. Stay true to our long-term goals. So the next time you feel bad, confused, or if you're upset, don't try to push it away right away. Instead, look straight at it because it's just below. That pain could be a sign that you need to learn something important. Find 7 ways to practice thanks. There is a calm, but deeply learn to be thankful. When the outside world is bad, gratitude is a strong force that comes into our lives. When we're stressed out from demands and fear of failing, the world seems like a mess, looms large, and it's thanks that brings us back. It doesn't matter how in Stoic thought, no matter how things turn out, we still have a lot to hold on to. Being thankful isn't just a feeling, it's a daily habit that keeps you grounded, makes us stronger from the inside out. We often get stuck in the not enough, not rich enough, not skilled enough, not fast enough. The more we try to find, the antsier we get. But being thankful does. Instead, it teaches us to focus on what is present rather than what is lost. You take a moment to breathe and be grateful for a good meal and some warm sunshine. You stop running for the moment, whether it's for the quiet company of a loved one or for some other reason. the thing that isn't there, and that's when real peace starts to grow. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not give in to your hopes of having what you only need to list the most important gifts you already have. Thankfully, remember how much you'd want them if they weren't yours." These words are a gentle but sharp reminder. Don't waste so much time following things you don't have. Have that you forget what you already have and what you would do if it were taken away you want the most. That wise saying is still true. It makes us humble now. However, keeps our minds from being blown away by the storm of desire. And if you believe in God, being thankful is not just a feeling. It's a holy thing. Act every quiet thank you is also a song of praise to the one who gave you life, love, and even the problems that make you stronger. In the when we pray, we don't just feel better, we bond with something bigger than reason, and that link gives you the strength to keep going. You don't need a big reason to be thankful. 3. At the end of the every day, write down 3 things that made you laugh. From an old friend, a sunny afternoon, a quiet moment in the middle of the chaos. These little things add up to a steady mind that stays through the ups and downs of life and brings you closer to a kind of success that doesn't stand out but lasts. If you're already grateful in your own way, or if you've had an event that changed the way you see life, share it in the comments below. Your story could be just what someone else needs to hear at this very moment. 8. Cut down on noise to focus on the heart. Cut down on noise to get to the heart. The world was shocked when Cal Newport, a university professor and author of Deep Work, as he said he doesn't use any social media, not even Facebook or Instagram. Twitter. In a time when being online is seen as necessary for life, I chose to take a step back and disconnect from the noisy stream of info that was coming in. Leaving everyone behind, he writes deep books, teaches with focus, and creates high-quality research, all of which come from one brave but simple idea. Cal Newport made the decision to block out noise to keep his attention on the story. Manifesto against technology. It's a warning that in a world full of things that want your attention all the time, everyday calmness, the power to filter, stay still, and focus is the biggest benefit you can have. We live in a time when a phone alert can quickly cut off a thought, where people try to fit in news stories that they have free time, but they lose touch with each other in the middle of. That person who can stay cool and focused is moving through the chaos. Stoicism has been around for thousands of years and has already helped people think more clearly. Understood this very well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are upset if it's something outside of you, the pain isn't from the thing itself, but from how you think about it. This is something you can change at any time. Noise in today's world isn't just, it sounds like the never-ending flow of news, social media rumors, and other information that hits you every day. The worries of others and the demands of society are what keep you thinking. You are always busy but not really involved in anything. You feel tired but don't know what to do. Why you feel like you're doing a lot but not going anywhere with what's important to you. That's why calmness isn't just peace. It's a way to stay alive and grow. When you stop, breathe, and think about what's important, you give yourself a rare gift. Gift of clarity. When you have clarity, you can move with more impact and make fewer mistakes, and keep going until you reach your goals without getting off track. Learn to be quiet in a crowd and say no to things that don't matter. Learn to keep your mind's water still. Only when the top is calm can you see the bottom. You can only see what's really worth it when your mind is clear. Having 9 lives. Use your breath as an take a deep breath and hold it there. Foundation. When we learn to quiet our minds and our hearts, by focusing on what's important, we can reach a deeper state of mind and inner calm. But to keep this state of mind, saying that in a crazy world, we need something stable, something to hold our minds together, can get back to at any time, and that tool isn't hard to use or odd. Reach. It's always with you all the time. That tool is your breath. St. Thomas Aquinas says that breathing is more than just a biological process that keeps us living. In ancient beliefs, breath stood for life itself and the power to control it. Using the breath as a way to ground and steady yourself in the waves of emotional intelligence is a subtle but very strong skill. This is because in times of tension, when your heart beats fast, your thoughts and feelings go all over the place, threaten to make you lose your mind. The first and best thing you can do is take a deep breath. It's interesting that the body doesn't lie. When you start breathing deeply and slowly, being aware that you're no longer in danger makes your brain lower. The worry hormone cortisol sets off the parasympathetic nervous system, which makes you feel safe. Calm. Taking a few deep breaths can change a moment that could lead to acting without thinking. As a chance to answer with clarity and wisdom, you can begin with an easy exercise. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and slowly breathe out for 6 seconds. Do this for 2 minutes every time you feel like you can't handle things. Not in the method, but in the choice to pause. This choice to stay true to yourself instead of getting caught up in the chaos around you. Take charge of your breath to start taking charge of your mind, and then move on to your body. Let's say you have an important job coming up. The first question surprises you. Your heart beats fast, and your hands start to sweat. You close your eyes for a moment, take a big breath in, and let it out. Slowly, your mind goes back to being calm, and you look at the person across from you and react calmly, not quickly or out of fear. That's the power of someone who knows exactly what they can control in the world of Stoicism. Success isn't just the result, it's also how we stay calm in the midst of chaos. During the storm, and every path to a calmer mind starts with something. Once you know how to use your breath once you have a base and an anchor for calm, you'll be ready to move on to the last part. We find out a truth that all smart people know very well. Trust time and believe in the process. But why is time your best friend? Stay with me because this is the most important part of the whole trip. Believe in the process and the time. 10. Have faith in the time and process once you know how to stop. When we tune out the noise and concentrate on what's important, we realize that calmness isn't just a temporary state. It's a strong base that lets us go the distance without getting caught up in the emotional storms that life throws at us. When our minds are calm, we start to clearly see an important truth. Long-term success never comes. We need to learn to trust the time and the process in that case. Everything in today's world is made to work right away. From fast, people are getting more and more angry with themselves thanks to social media. We want to learn quickly, be successful quickly, and change quickly. But real life is slow. It doesn't work that way. Real value and strong personal progress take time. Shape. Just like a tree needs seasons to grow roots and flowers, we need a way that we will grow and become the people we're meant to be. Stoicism doesn't offer quick results. Sometimes we have to wait for something to happen before we can move on. As an important part of a long-term journey, it's a soft but strong. Remember that just because you haven't seen results today doesn't mean you're failing. Sometimes the change is happening inside you softly. When we're in a hurry, this person is more likely to make mistakes when they are learning to paint. People who wait for the first piece to be perfect will quickly get frustrated, start to question themselves, and give up. But if they know that even a slight mistake is a step in the right direction, if they're willing to wait 7 days, pick up the brush, and try again. Over time, you'll learn the skill, and growth will happen on its own, not because of some amazing breakthrough, but because they kept at it over and over again. It's not inactive to trust the process. In fact, it needs you to do something. Active work, setting short-term goals, keeping track of your progress, and changing the way you do things, and most importantly, not giving up even when you can't see effects yet, helps us keep that beat. It keeps us steady when we want to compare ourselves to other people or give in to pressure from outside sources, as Seneca wrote. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Imagine that you are a gardener who plants seeds every day. You can water it and keep bugs away, but you can't tell the seed to grow better and faster. Do your part every day and know that if you taking care of things today will pay off tomorrow. That's someone's calm trust. Who knows that success is a process, not a place you get to day by day, step by step. Trust the time and the process, and I can see that waiting is a quiet strength that will get you places that haste could never go. We've just gone in the end. 10 deep lessons on calmness, which is a core trait in the philosophy of Stoicism. From controlling our feelings to seeing things as they really are, to being able to tell the difference between what we can and can't control, brings us closer to a life that is simpler, more stable, and more successful. It doesn't make us heartless. Instead, it helps us understand life better, get to know ourselves better, and stay stable through life's storms. Remember to stay calm. Isn't something only a few people can do. It's a skill that anyone can learn. You're making steady progress towards success when you do it every day, your own terms and in the way that's most important to you. So how about you what do you do every day to keep calm when things don't go as planned? Been a time when staying calm changed how things turned out? Share your thoughts or story. In the comments, I'd love to read them and talk to you in person. If you thought this was useful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to make sure you don't miss any new movies where we will keep looking at inner strength through the lens of Stoicism. Don't forget to don't miss the next video that's playing on your screen right now.